Hi everyone, welcome to my page, welcome to my platform, Step Into Your Truth. My name is Gertrude, and today I just wanted to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is probably one of those hard things to do because you're probably sitting there thinking like this person hurt me and I'm supposed to forgive them. Why? Because it feels like you're giving them a pass. It feels like they're getting away with what they did. You just want them to suffer, right? You want them to feel your pain. You want them to see your pain. You want them to go through, the most like you are. But you find that people who've done you wrong are out here moving on with or without your forgiveness. You are holding on to all this anger and trauma and thinking, forgiving them is doing them a favor, but they move on regardless of, your forgiveness. They don't need your blessing or whatever to move on with their life. They move on because, it's people, it's life. And you stay there stuck in this place of not forgiving and not understanding that forgiving is for you and not for anybody else. And by doing that, you continue to play that victim role. They continue to have the power, like I always say. They continue to have the power, and I suppose you continue to give them the power, and you continue to play the victim. Now, forgiveness is not, like I said earlier, it's not for anybody else, it's for you. That understanding, for a lot of people, it comes at a later stage when they've gone through more pain and hurt than they probably needed to, right? Then they understand that, okay, I need to forgive, not for anybody else, but for myself. And once you forgive somebody, you start the process of healing. Like, you truly start the process of healing, because there is no way you can heal or move on. You could physically move on, of course, but there's no way you can heal internally when you haven't forgiven somebody. Because to me, forgiving is letting go, right? You've let go of it all. You've let go of what has been done to you. You're letting go of the pain. You're letting go of the resentment. You're letting go of the anger. So if you don't forgive, which means you haven't let go, and you can't really start your healing. I would argue it is impossible to do. I think the two go hand in hand, right? And you probably sit there and think, well, it's unfair, that they did this to me. Now I have to sit here and forgive them. But understand that you are not doing it for them, you are doing it for you. They probably never even need to know that you've forgiven them, right? I mean, if it's something you need, like to pick up the phone and say, I forgive you, if that's something you need to do so you feel like you've forgiven somebody, fair and fine. But if not, they don't need to know. It's between you and your God. You sit there and you forgive them, just, if not for any other reason, just so you can move on with your life and heal and get some peace, right? Now, some people will forgive people and still want these people to stay in their lives, fair and fine. But if these people are going to still be in your life, I need for people to understand that you cannot then keep bringing up what they did. You cannot keep bringing up, their past, because if you've forgiven them, you forgive everything and you move on, right? You've said to yourself, okay, I'm going to forgive you, but I'm still going to have you in my life. We're going to forget that. We're going to let go of that. Because if you don't do that, you're going to create a toxic environment, a toxic relationship, because you're going to keep bringing up the past, or you're going to turn into this mean person because you haven't forgiven them, and you're going to want them to feel that pain, and you're actually going to be, that person that then needs forgiveness because you have not forgiven them, and then you turned out to be this mean person, you've done things to make them feel bad and to make them feel horrible and to make them feel your pain, and you end up needing the forgiving, right? So if you're going to keep people in your life, you need to make sure you've done the work. You need to make sure you've forgiven them and healed from it. Because if you haven't and you still keep them in your life, you are going to be a mean person. Very mean person. I am talking from experience. I have seen it in myself, where I was trying to fix things, but because I hadn't forgiven, I was just mean. I thought I was justified to be mean because I was trying to make them feel bad too. But I was out of character, very much so. And then once I truly forgave, so for me, my forgiving, like I had to leave and then forgive. I wasn't forgiving and staying and doing all that. No, I think it got into a stage where I needed to leave because it was toxic, right? So I left and then I forgave. But before I left, like I was, coming, like you are angry, right? You are angry because you're suffering and you're hurting and you're in pain. You want them to suffer and you want them to feel your pain as well. And you just turn into this mean, you just don't want to see them smile. Why are you smiling? You hurt me. Why are you smiling? Is there anything to smile about? Like, who does that, right? So if you're going to forgive people and keep them in your life, please make sure that you have truly forgiven, right? Forgetting, that's a different story, right? You need to be aware of the fact that you're probably not going to forget what they've done. But if you're saying you've forgiven them and you've moved past it, then don't bring it up. Don't, because you are just going to make, the situation, you're just going to make the situation worse. And I don't think you've really forgiven them if you're going to keep bringing stuff up. So for me, I forgave, but I was now on the outside. So for me, I don't know if it's easier that way, but that's just how things worked for me. So the takeaway from today is forgive for yourself. Forgive so you can start healing. Forgive so you can get peace, because I keep saying, don't continue to play the victim if you don't, I don't know if I should say if you don't have to, but if you can, stop continuing to play the victim and forgive for yourself. You are in control. Like I say, you are in control. This life is yours. You are the captain of your life. So you need to take control of that, and you need to take your power back. And forgiveness as well will give you peace. It will give you peace. I cannot explain this enough, because you're like I said, you've let go of whatever it is that has happened to you, and you just get so much peace from it. So that's it for today. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.